pen, now you're gone. Play me like a violin, hitting these notes.
Okay, are we on? Is the microphone on? Is the microphone on?
Promise.
Yeah.
10 minutes. We have 5 to 7.
Okay, welcome everybody to Social Innovation House for a very, very special session this afternoon. It'll be quick but wonderful, I hope, because we are here really to celebrate and thank Hilde Schwab and to hear a bit of a conversation with Jeroo, who is our dear leader at Social Catalyst 2030, Catalyst Now, who's helped it all come into being before and came up really with others this idea for this house. Now, Hilde, I've known many, many years, and I've just been reflecting on the significance really that you have had for this social entrepreneurship movement, the social innovation movement. When you and Klaus put your award to use to set up the Schwab Foundation, I think you did a very significant thing for the whole field of social entrepreneurship. You put it on the map, or helped put it on the map. So first of all, and me coming as a journalist to the World Economic Forum, I really encountered social entrepreneurs in the flesh for the first time. I remember Dialogue in the Dark being here and sort of groping around in a dark room, being led by these amazingly inspirational people who'd really showed that not being able to see needn't be a problem. And we danced dragon dances and experienced spirituality in the mountains with Karen Shea and International Bridges for Justice and many other things. And I think that also, if I reflect on the social entrepreneurship movement, that having this selection of social entrepreneurs that came here and rubbed shoulders with all the other people that come to the forum, I think gave them gave social entrepreneurs a realization that they could be at the high table where decisions are made, and has kind of maybe planted the seed of the ambition that has led to something more systematic happening through Catalyst and through doing something like Social Innovation House. So hopefully this will now go to the next level, and that, again, that's why we really want to thank you. I'm now going to hand over to Karen to say a few words.
Thank you. Building on what Matthew has said, I think as a community, we really just wanted to reinforce again what it's meant to people to be here. So having the house, we sort of see this as a further progression of the work that you started in terms of elevating social entrepreneurship. And there's been so much happened over the last couple of days and so much more happening for the rest of the week. But for people on a very practical level, part of our community, there have been people who've gotten to launch reports here. And it just elevates generally the work that's been happening within this community, not just here, but all throughout the whole year. To get the opportunity has been really wonderful. And again, you can't help but take notice when you see that side of the building with Social Innovation House. It most definitely really does make an impact. So on behalf of all of us, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe I would like to say something about the origins of the Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship. You have seen the World Economic Forum, how it is, a platform. It always was for decision makers from politics and business and academia, media. And 26 years ago, I thought we need to bring to this platform the people who do something, who do the work on the ground. And nobody really knows what they are doing. It was not known in Europe, not in America, as social entrepreneurship. And that's why we created the foundation and started to search for organizations who had this ambition to do something good to help the people, be it in it at that time. Of course, today we talk about artificial intelligence and everything, but at that time it was about having clean drinking water, about bringing girls to school, about agricultural development, creating little tools. It was really basic, but in the meantime, of course, the field has grown, and you have been really a part of that. Jeroo was one of our first social entrepreneurs. So since then, yes. So since then, and the field has grown, and I really commend you for being here and for doing everything you are doing in the world. It's really fantastic. We are very proud, not only of our there are lots of communities, but we are here to collaborate. And I'm proud of the whole community and of the whole ecosystem for what you're doing.
Thank you. Hilde, for me, you have been a personal inspiration. I want to say that. Honestly, it's a journey of 20 plus years. And I'm saying this is a personal story because I think it's not just getting to Davos. It's Klaus and Hilde who have personally supported entrepreneurs. When I came, I was young, I got married, I knew nobody in Europe. It was the Schwab Foundation which helped me get my personal footing into Europe and to help me start not just Child Helpline International, but the 4 other organizations I had started after. And then I remember I came to thank them for CYFI, and I told her about the idea which we had been talking on Catalyst. And the first thing Hilde said is, let's launch it at Davos. Let's make it happen over here. So it was really Hilde who gave us the wind beneath our sails and the power and the energy to make Catalyst happen. So I would really, really like to thank you very much, Hilde, on behalf of the whole Catalyst community. Can you do this? I would like to thank you on behalf of the... on the behalf of the whole Catalyst community and on behalf of all the social entrepreneurs in the world.
Oh, thank you so much,
So this is the Schwab Foundation. We tried to create it, the logo of the Schwab Foundation. A big, big thank you to you and Klaus. You all have been the wind beneath our sails.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And And I would like to say that as the community grows, we have a fantastic... Social Innovation House was an experiment for 1 year. And I remember emailing you and saying, I don't know, Amit has made this offer, can we go ahead? And you said, yes, why not try it? Yes. And let's see. And then you see this, it's been a great success without your support, without the support of Francoise, who's backed us every step of the way. It wouldn't have been possible. And now Amit has a special announcement to make. So Amit, over to you.
Yeah.
Well, so the space will be available next year as well, and I hope we'll all... So I guess we will all continue to keep working to make the world a better place and share all we do with the big guys who come here. See you next year.
And Hilde, you have been our support, so I hope you and Klaus continue to be the support you have been as you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. You know, this being Davos, there are so many things going on, so I'm here between 2 different sessions that I have to chair. So you will excuse me if I'm leaving, but I think you also have a lot to do, so thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much. And as Hilde leaves, there are many of the people who supported making this house a reality. Many like Brigitte and Alex, who you've known for a very long time. We have Chairman Frederick, who has really helped TPC, who has helped support us. And all the donors who helped. So I also want to give them a big thank you. And this is true what you wanted. Collaboration at Davos. Absolutely. And we've made it happen. Your vision.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, a picture of.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
No. So as we continue, as Francoise will continue to join us and share about the role that the Schwab Foundation has played in making this happen. So just give us 2 seconds while we walk Hilde out. If you want to meet Hilde, please, yeah. She's stepping out. Virtually, she's in 2 major sessions, and then she's made it happen. So, yeah. While we do it, I think it will be a good time for us once again to thank all our sponsors and supporters who have been amazing. I would also take this opportunity to thank Gabi and Frederick, who have been super amazing. So let's give them a big hand. And I can't whistle, but if someone could whistle. Sorry, I can't. They have been fantastic. And we have little Maria over here, and we have Matthew, and we have Brian, and there's a whole team back over there. I hope you all are watching. I think on behalf of the whole governing council, I think we should tell the whole team a big, big, big thank you, because they have been fantastic, every single one of them. And I've had many boards, but I have to say the Catalyst Governing Council is the best. The best. So all GC members who are watching, yeah, boy, thank you very much. You all are phenomenal in making this happen. So thank you very much. And that includes Francoise. When is he coming back? Come on. Francoise, come on in. Okay, so I do have to say, Francoise, thank you very much. I think it would be nice if you, other than being the director of the Schwab Foundation, all of you need to know Francoise is a fantastic author and has written the book on systems change and systems work. So if you want to really know what we are talking about, please read Francoise's book. And then, Francoise, you need to talk about how the foundation got involved and co-created with Catalyst. That would be fantastic.
The first thing I'm going to say is it's the first time I've seen anyone speak before Jeroo and take the microphone away from him. Only Hilde Schwab can do that. Even I can't do that.
I loved it.
So I think Hilde is still here. So many thanks to her for, really being one of the core drivers and supporters of this field, as Matthew and Karen and Jeroo have said. Great to be here in Social Innovation House. This is really exciting to see the inside of the World Economic Forum annual meeting being reflected on the outside and the activities, and bringing social innovation to all of the outside ecosystem that happens around the forum. And I think it's a really welcome grounding of what we see along the promenade, many companies demonstrating and putting out their work. And I think it's really important to have the space, but also the message to the world that people and planet are actually at the center of what we all wanting to do. So, of course, we've been supportive, and of course, it was fun to be here and launch Catalyst in a modest way in Davos 4 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago.
20, yeah.
Yeah, wow. And just to see what the whole community have done to build, a really open and rich ecosystem. And now, with the governing council, but also the 2 chief co-facilitators really coming into its own as a presence on the global stage. Just to reflect a little bit, and thank you for hosting, live streaming our awards yesterday. It was really powerful. It was, I heard someone come out of the session. We presented the Schwab Foundation Awards, 15 new awardees every year across social entrepreneurs, but also social innovators working inside companies, working inside governments, really an ecosystem, and of course now working in collective ways. Someone came out of the session and I overheard them saying that a lot of the other sessions at the annual meeting are food for thought. That one was food for the soul. And I think there are few sessions that really bring goosebumps, and that was one of them. I don't know if you saw it. If you didn't see it, was quite amazing just watching people really tell their stories and to do that. But in addition to that, we had a session this morning on social innovation at the cutting edge in action with Professor Mohammed Yunus, with the Minister of Development, Trade and Economy from South Africa, with the CEO of Schneider Electric, and a social innovator, really putting this now, on the world stage. Of course, we've been doing it for a long time, but we can feel the momentum. Not only what happens inside, but it's a global momentum that's reflected there. And I think that's always what the World Economic Forum has been, is amplifying what is happening in the world, putting it on the front stage and being able to debate what's happening. And I think now we see with the momentum of the policy agenda, with the UN resolution, African Union, there is now 30 governments in the world taking this seriously. We're meeting with governments there, but we also have many companies that engage both with Catalyst and with our community. And of course, the World Economic Forum is a great place to really mobilize that kind of support. So this is a very healthy synergy and symbiosis we have with the work we can do inside and now reflected with Social Innovation House on the outside.
I'd love to ask you a couple of questions. I know we hadn't pre-planned this, but anyway.
If Matthew has the microphone, then
always the best. Always the
I'm
best.
gonna jump in, but I mean, to build on what you've said, I mean, as I think back over the 20 years I've been coming to Davos, I mean, really, when social entrepreneurs were first here, it was just incredibly valuable that they had a snapshot. They had a moment where people like the business leaders and the political leaders would either do the dialogue in the dark, or they'd go on the refugee run. I remember that was, you see all these, being there with these CEOs who suddenly were treated like refugees and really felt what it was like to be disempowered and so forth. And it was really a constructive part on the fringe of the forum. But as you were saying, there is this possibility now and I think Catalyst means that social entrepreneurs are ready to have that seat at the table and to really be part of the best, the most important discussions that happen here in Davos. And we have the impact ecosystem model that we're developing, which kind of is this vehicle for real collaborations. What advice have you got for us as to how we make the most of this opportunity over future years going forward?
I think the house is a good start because it represents ambition, right? And I think for too long we've told individual stories of here's a great example of something, here's a great example of something, but it's quite difficult to see those taken up. And so I think creating the ecosystem approach is really what we need to do. And really it's about power, right? At the end of the day, collective power. And at the same time, there is a recognition, and of course we're in an interesting time where there is clearly division around where we think the world needs to go. But there is certainly a convergence with where kind of business is recognizing, where many governments in the world are recognizing we need to build more inclusive economies, we need to build more sustainable economies. Well, turns out that social entrepreneurs have been developing the ideas and models and solutions and innovations towards doing that for 40 years. So, there is an opportunity there. So I think getting beyond the individual storytelling, building the evidence base, building the narrative and being ambassadors for each other. And I think that's what Catalyst also represents. It's not just every single organization for itself. And I think we're beyond that now. And I think this creates the space for that.
Thank you. Great answer.
Thank you. And you have been our partner in crime process for everything. So, sorry. Oh, yeah, I'll fall otherwise. A small token of appreciation from all of us, and a big, big, big thank you.
Thank you to you.
Thank you. Because François was the first person who really said, let's make Catalyst happen when he became the executive director of the Schwab Foundation. I still remember.
There were tears, but yes. No, she does. It's a reference to another conversation, but yes, it's difficult birthing something, and I think it really took a community of people to do that. So A big thanks to everyone on the stage and in the audience. And I think a big thanks also to the donors who are coming on to really say this is something we believe in, because it is one of the few kind of bottom-up real approaches here, particularly in this world, in this week, that we need to see. And that is, and when I come back to it, it is about power. I mean, you see power and influence on the promenade. We see it everywhere. And I think this sector and the social sector and the social innovation sector, it's really been time to consolidate and come together under a couple of common kind of agendas and common things to demonstrate people power, and in a way that's, I think, different to the pure activism which also has existed in the space, and for valid reasons. And we need kind of the activism to create the discomfort around political will, but then we need the time for generative solutions where we can sit down and say, okay, not only what is the world we don't want, but what is the world we do want, and how do we build that?
Such an interesting point to build on, because I went to the Edelman Trust Barometer, and their results are 50% of people they polled said they don't believe in the political system anymore. And then there was a huge increase in people who feel grievance and who feel that aggressive protest is now appropriate out of their grievance. And it was interesting to see, as you mentioned, Muhammad Yunus being on stage. And I think part of what happened in Bangladesh, and the reason they turned to him in their moment of crisis, was because he had built this credibility on the ground as someone who really cared about the people. And so they turned to him to guide them through this. Now, who knows how it's going to play out in America and elsewhere, but it feels like it would not be a big surprise if that becomes the site of all these CEOs getting richer by the second, these meme coins, all that kind of thing. Once people get to see what the real consequences of that are, that we see an increase in anger, protest, and so forth, and there's real battles around power. And again, how we as social entrepreneurs that want to have positive solutions rather than just bring the whole system down, how we play in that space is going to be hugely important. And
I think the currency of trust is critical. One of the themes of this annual meeting, of course, the overall theme is collaboration for the intelligent age, and that doesn't only refer to AI, but really, us as human beings. We're kind of more intelligent and more influential and more powerful than we've ever been, and yet somehow, we still can't figure it out. And so one of the sub-themes is about rebuilding trust. And in fact, actually last year, the Schwab Foundation theme for this annual meeting was the transforming through trust. And so I think it is something that this community really do have. And I think it's something that we need to hold on to and use as a mechanism to engage with some of these other actors who, as you're saying, are losing that currency.
Thank you.
Trust meme, anyone? Anyone want to get a trust coin going in this community?
I actually do have a good coin. But as we say, we had this house, and for those of you who don't know, we launched at Davos, and then we actually had another house, which was Karen's house, where we all came together to make Catalyst a reality.
Yes, it was supposed to be 12 people and turned into 135. So when you agree to host something for Jeroo, I just want to warn you in advance of what can happen. Make sure you've got a big living room.
Is Amit still here? I'm just
Yeah,
say,
and so Amit, next year.
He knows the Jeroo
Watch out.
by now.
Yeah.
Thank you also just to Amit. I thank the donors. I think, really being able to see a vision of a bunch of crazy people is what, that the movement have needed along the way. We heard yesterday, actually, I don't know if you saw our awards. We have a public social innovator from the Swiss Parliament who has severe disability. And he basically said the way he got to being in Parliament was that people along the way, believed in him. And I think, that's what you're doing here as well. So thanks to you.
Thank you.
so I think, unless anyone wants to say anything, of course, other than that, we will wrap up at this session. But do you want to say anything, Fred or Gabby? Yeah, Fred, come on. Say something.
Yes. Thank you. Look, this was a crazy thing to put on. And Gabi, come up here. Because, so collaboration and co-creation, we try to model it by working together best we can. But truly is when Amit gave this opportunity And we got started in July. You said, this is too slow, this is too late. And then we were slow off the mark because we had UNGA to organize, we had other things to do.
New jobs to start.
And new jobs to start, right? And you did lose your patience with us a tiny bit once or twice along the way because it wasn't obvious that this would happen.
Sounds like it was warranted, to be fair. Okay. To stick up for a mate.
But in the end of the day,
It happens, and it happens because every single one of you in this house has a purpose that is very clear. We are doing the work that we are doing because we believe that we can change things. And we have seen in the Schwabis and the other communities that we were part that it's possible to change cities, to change communities. It's possible to change the climate in a city if you do the things right. We saw the examples. And now we are learning how to do it together, to do it in a bigger scale. And this is the place to share that. And this is the place, as Amit said, to being here, being part of the conversation, showcase all the social entrepreneurs. So this house is possible because all of you, all of our governing council members, of course, Jeroo, that was with us, Francois, that was in every meeting. I don't know how you did it. He was organizing the forum and he was in every of our co-host meeting. And his team, that was fantastic. And of course, our members that are here and make the effort to be part of this house. And I want to give a big, big thanks to our incredible team because
Please
they
come
are the
forward.
soul, the house.
Charu,
the house.
Matthew,
but I just have
Maria,
to add
come
this
forward.
point that
Please
there
come
were
forward.
people who were early believers, right?
Woo-hoo! Come on. Come on. You guys made it happen. Come.
Can I just say how magical it has been on this journey, actually? Because as tough as it was, we have won so many friends along the way, right? People who are willing to take that leap of faith to be with us on this. Now that it has become a reality, there are many others who want to join. But this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, right? So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us.
There's another panel start. Oh, can we? Yeah? Thank you so
Amit, come on.
much. Amit, please.
Come.
Please.
And guys, everyone who's here, you have to be next year. And for all the sponsors, double your sponsorship.
Okay.
Now he'll come on.
2 lines. Okay, do you want me to go?
I'm old, I can say it. The advantage of
I need to mirror Frederick. I have to hold on to you.
Look at the style of the guys, you know.
Shoes are going to be in the photo. You need to stand up.
It's just going to look very funny. You're going to look better than I Here, I'll go. You go stand over here. Sorry, everybody. You go stand there and I'll crouch down. Okay.
Ready? 1 second, please. Doesn't work. Sorry. Now one more, please. The last one.
Thank you so much.
My little Maria is my fault.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. Thank you, Emma.
My little Maria.
What you wanted in